I moved into this house with my first husband, who was a nice man, really rather dull. Men kind of were in those days, especially they used to want to do was talk about war. I suppose it was going on at the time, but rather bored with it all, really. Rather bored that all they did was talk about war. And so I eventually sent him off to the war he loved so much, and really rather hoping he wouldn't come back. Thank goodness he didn't. I decided to remarry because it looks rather odd. You don't have a husband, especially in those days. So I married. Well, I went to the pictures and I found someone. He used to send me postcards of children, which I thought was quite weird, really. I thought that was a bit off. And I just married him anyway. Couldn't really see anyone else being any better. And it turned out it was more than just postcards, really. I didn't like it at all. So I eventually told him to go away. And he didn't quite understand, really. So he took a day trip to Eastbourne, and then came back. And I said, I didn't really mean go to Eastbourne. I meant leave. And well, then he did get the point, but just kept sleeping on my sofa, which meant that all the postcards didn't go away, and I didn't like it. And I started not being in the house very much and just going and trying to go to tea rooms and stuff. I found a lovely man who actually really enjoyed. He was my favourite. He would later be my husband. He sent me postcards of mountains and monuments, which I thought was nice. I thought that was appropriate, really, for a man. So the money ones could offer. He was definitely my favourite husband. And before Arthur was my husband, I had to get rid of Billy, who was the second. So we did together. It was nice. It was a sort of bonding moment, really. And so then I was free to marry Arthur. I felt kind of guilty about Billy, really, but I didn't think anyone would miss him too much. He wasn't particularly well liked, I don't think. And Arthur was definitely my favourite, but he decided to move on after a couple of years, wanted to go up to London. I didn't really think he was clever enough for London, but he seemed to. And I think he found a lady out there, because eventually he asked me for a divorce. And then there's another gentleman who started sending me postcards of sort of churches and things like that. I've never really had too much time for the church, but I thought, I'll give you a go. I never actually married him. I think he was married. But after a while, I think his wife found out. It may have been because I told her. And I told her with a rather lovely postcard of a lake. I thought that maybe she'd sort of drown herself in the lake or something, but unfortunately she didn't. But I thought the lake postcard was really rather funny. And well, finally I had really my cleverest husband. Gosh, he was really rather clever. And he came a few years after everyone else. I didn't like him as much as all the others. And he was an interesting man. He wasn't very funny. Didn't really have a sense of humour. He really was a lot cleverer than all the others. And eventually he kind of found out what me and Arthur had done. And I did try to explain him that he was just this really quite unpleasant man. But, well, he really wasn't happy about it. And I think he got rather worried about what I was going to do to him. I suppose it's kind of fair enough. As was said, done it once, might do it again. And I started sort of jumping every time I walked into a room, and I just didn't like it. And he started sort of threatening to tell the police and stuff, and I really didn't want to go to prison, especially not over someone as horrible as Billy. I just thought that wouldn't really be worth it. And so I sort of had to do it again. I did it really nicely though. I put on his favourite green dress and his favourite red lipstick, which he actually bought me as a threat. For some reason he said, what you've done, you should wear some red lipstick or something like that. I still got it and I still wear it as a lovely gift. I never understood that one. And I put my hair down because he always preferred my hair down, really. I don't know why, all the women at the time used to have it up. He was a bit different, I suppose. He liked it down. And I just dressed up really nicely for him and then just waited for him to come home. And I thought I wouldn't let him know right away. I'd sort of do it kind of secretly so he wouldn't have any time to be shocked or anything, because that's always a bit horrible, isn't it? So I just walked up to him when he came through the door. I really didn't think I'd do it twice.